Yes, guys, we are here in summer 2024, July, in fact, and the weather is perfect. Raining, cloudy, windy, perfect summer British conditions. Today, we're going to be talking about polyester and polycotton tents. What's the difference? Is it worth getting a polycotton over a polyester? There seems to be a higher demand for polyester tents, being they're more popular. I mean, if we go back towards the early 1990s, that's when they really started to produce them, and they obviously became popular ever since. But if you go back to the early 60s all the way onwards, canvas tents were of the majority. There was no such thing as a polyester tent, but the reason being why there are less canvas tents out there today is because polyester tents are more they're less cost effective, meaning obviously factories and companies, it's just cheaper for them to make polyester. Now this tent, in fact, I believe is 150 denier, maybe 75, but I think it is possibly 150. I might have to go and do my research. I think it may be a 75 just by looking at the material here. But anyway, you can range from 75 all the way to 400 and above. So, like, the denier is basically the thickness of the fabric and the way it's woven. So, the higher the denier, the thicker the fabric. Hydrostatic head on this one is about 4,000, possibly 6. I mean, it ranges between those two numbers. Sometimes it really is hard to tell on the top of your head. You have to go away and do your research on these things. But again, the higher the hydrostatic head, the better the waterproof rating. I mean, for example, 6,000 is basically 6,000 water droplets it takes for the top of the fabric to kind of sit. So the higher the rating, the better the waterproofing. It's that simple. Good thing about polyester tents as well is that its packability is awesome. I mean, very lightweight, and they pack down in a nice kind of small pack size bag. Obviously, if you're going 6 to 8 berth, it's going to be a lot bigger and heavier. But between a polyester and a polycotton, the polyester is always going to be lighter. So if you're a single parent, or I don't know, a smaller family, or maybe you're just camping on your own, you may want to go for a polyester just due to the fact that it's lighter weight than a polycotton, even if you're older, all right, or a baby boomer. I'm just kidding, guys. But yeah, you really want to go for that if you struggle to lift heavier objects. I do want to talk about some downsides to polyester. Again, it's not as breathable as a polycotton tent, meaning in hot summers, it's not going to be as cool. It's going to be quite warm inside. And then obviously in winters, it's not going to be as warm inside for you. So again, hence why you buy sleeping bags and mats and things like that. The polycotton tents will obviously come more towards that when I start speaking about them, but the insulation is no way near the same quality as a polycotton tent. Anyway, let's move on now, on towards the polycotton tent. So guys, I thought I'd show you actually an awning for a change. We will be doing more awning videos, driveway awnings, caravan awnings. So I thought I'd show you one of our awnings. This is a Dometic awning that we have here. Obviously we've got a side canopy coming out. So I wanted to show you the difference in material. Now, as you can see, the rain is dropping off quite well here actually, but this is more of your canvasy polycotton. Again, it's not a polycotton tent, but again, just for demonstration purposes, this is your polycotton canvasy material. Again, rain's dropping off, and it's, again, when it comes to waterproofing, it actually doesn't have a waterproof rating. The waterproofing is already embedded in the material, so there will not be a waterproof rating. Now, I actually advise, this is for polyester tents as well, that you actually reproof it maybe with a polyester maybe twice a year, 2 to 3 times a year, twice to be more exact. With Fabsol Reproofer, we actually do sell that in store. We sell the lubricant version and the spray-on version, so you can obviously go and check that out on our website. But I would always reproof it. I mean, with a polycotton or a canvas tent, you do not have to reproof it within the first year. Once you get some use out of it, then I advise you reproof it in a dry environment. Now, the positives to a polycotton or a canvas type material, like I said, they were very popular and high in demand in the 60s, 70s, 80s, because that was the only kind of sort of material you could find out there on the market. Today, there is less in demand for them. I mean, you'll see the sort of older generation looking for these type of tents because that's what they had back in those days. Now you'll see the fresh, modern generation. I mean, you're going to see them going for more polyester just because they're not as educated with the polycotton and canvas tents. Now, in hot climates, they're very, very good. So that's probably why you tend to see bell tents and teepees and things like that in hotter climate countries, Europe, places like Spain, things like that. Bell tents, you'll see them at hotter climate campsites in Europe. So, you know, they're very well insulated. I mean, in hot summers, I remember last year when it might have been 2 years ago when we had that ridiculous 40-degree weather, just walking into a canvas polycotton tent, the difference in the cooling was crazy. You step into a polyester tent and it was warm, it was quite humid in there. So again, the insulation is so much better, and obviously within winter months it's a lot warmer in there, so you don't have to buy a four-season sleeping bag. You can literally just have some sort of blanket, insulated blanket, and then you can go from there. So that is a massive positive with a canvas and a polycotton tent, is the insulation. You obviously want to keep well cool in the summers and well warm in the winters. And then again, the thickness of the material. I mean, it's pretty much tear proof. You are not going to be able to tear through that. Even if you're camping in high winds, no wind is going to tear through that material compared to a polyester tent. Now, the downside to a polycotton or a canvas tent, it's heavy. You can have canvas tents over 30 kilograms. You can have canvas tents that weigh over 80 kilograms. I mean, again, that's why you buy a trolley, which we also sell. That's why you buy a trolley. But no, again, if you struggle to lift heavy objects, canvas, polycotton is going to be a downside for you. So this is my recommendation. Both great materials, both good tents. I mean, again, you can get a polyester tent with a higher denier, meaning the waterproof rating is really, really good, and the durability, I mean, it's probably going to last you a good 8 to 10 years, a decade. Same with these, probably more than a decade if you look after them and you reproof them, you know, once you've used it time and time again. In my personal opinion, I always like camping in polycotton, like bell tents. We do the Quest ones, we do the Robins teepees. I prefer it because, I don't know, I'm a summer boy, but I like to be nice and cool in the summer heat. So if I was to go camping or I was going to a festival, I would always buy some sort of polycotton tent just because it's so much cooler. But I'm not taking anything away from a polyester, because if you're going to a festival, right, and you want to keep everything lightweight, then you're going to have to go for a polyester. That is the ideal tent to go for. Now, my recommendation is, if you are more than a novice camper, I mean, you go camping all the time, maybe it is time for that upgrade. I'd upgrade to a polycotton or a canvas, in my opinion, just because the durability is a lot better. And to be honest with you, this is for everyone. Over time, you're going to be spending way less money. Yes, a polycotton or a canvas can cost more than $1,000, but spending that one-time payment that's going to last you a decade is a no-brainer. Whereas a polyester tent may cost you £500, but there may be more issues with it. For example, if you're camping in high winds, if you camp in Wales, places like that, and you have a polyester tent, there's more of a chance of it tearing. So, not to knock the polyester, but there are probably more sort of, you know, crooks and creeks with it compared to a canvas or polycotton tent. But again, it comes down to personal preference. And there you have it, guys. There are some of the differences between a polyester and a polycotton tent. Now, going forward, we sell both. I probably advise you to visit our local store in St Albans on Hatfield Road. So come down, we have a full tent yard on display, polycotton, canvas and polyester tent. So come and check those out. And obviously, if you head to our PG Outdoors website, you're going to be finding a whole range of different tents on there. So make sure you check that out too. Guys, thanks for watching today's video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Please hit that subscribe button. We really would appreciate it. We really want to take this channel somewhere going forward. Guys, Make sure you comment on these videos as well. No, nothing nasty, nothing hateful, positive comments, and maybe recommend some future videos. Do you want us to pitch a drive-away awning? Do you want us to recommend what sort of tents to go for? Please leave these sort of comments. Why? It's going to help the channel grow, and it's going to put it into a sort of positive direction, and you're also helping the camping community out too. Guys, I'll see you next time.